and welcome to episode 11.5 of our video discussion series where my friend Dev and I discuss the sequel to Konjiki no Gash, which is Konjiki no Gash 2, also known by a lot of fans as Zatch Bell 2. And this is our intermission video, so this will be us discussing the entirety of Volume 2, what we thought about it, as well as the volume cover and the Gash Café, and just all of our thoughts on all of that and everything. It's been a minute since we've done one of these, so bear with us. Belial sent all of his forces after us, and we've been trying to survive for a very long time. But we're back for this video. And yeah, this is, like I said in the previous episodes, this is a retake of what episode 11 and a half was. I don't know what's going on with the audio, but a few of the episodes, my audio tracks were just, there was no audio from me, and so we had to redo these. And this episode is the last of those retakes. So
far.
Don't say that. But yeah, so we do have up to, I don't know, 17 or 18 recorded. But those are me and Dev from like months and months and months ago. So I don't know, time is wonky, but we are here.
Yeah, 2025 has been kind of chaotic for us, to be honest.
It's been rough, but like we're here. This video series is not like going away or anything. Like there might be some hiatuses here and there, but like we are committed to this. So don't worry about that.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about that. We're not going anywhere. Fun little trivia, I guess, because why not? At the time of recording, tomorrow chapter 30 comes out. So, anyways, let's talk about chapters 6 through 11.
we like literally right before this recording, I had to like go back to review volume 2 just to make sure I don't make references to something that happens in the future, because
no, literally,
like for each of these videos we want to stay, strictly within like whatever like we're up to in the podcast itself, not whatever we're up to in like real life.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil anybody or anything, and in case this is someone's like preferred way of reading the sequel or experiencing the sequel, we don't want to do any spoilers or anything like that. So we would. It was a good. I didn't even think about that. Dev was like, "Oh, I was going through the chapters to make sure of like what we like aren't supposed to know yet," and I was like, "Oh shit, that's a good idea." So I need to remember what I didn't know at this point before I can
you're gonna say
anything.
something like, we're gonna like talk about our thoughts on some part, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, I can't believe I really thought that so and so was gonna show up here. That was so stupid."
Gosh, but I'm ready. I'm debriefed. I'm back in the mindset of only chapters 6 through 11 have come out. So well, obviously I'm 1 through 5. But yeah, so I'm ready to get into it and talk about everything that Volume 2 gave us.
Same here. So why don't we start off by discussing the front cover of Volume 2. We have a very, very beautiful and clean cover for it, featuring Fulgore, Consomme, and Consomme this time. That's pretty cool.
I love it.
Oh my goodness. This is such a clean cover, and I love that it has like the same simplicity as Consomme's original full version volume cover. I can't say this more than enough. I just really love how we're going with like the same illustration concept as the full version, because it just makes it so much fun to compare covers between the original and the sequel. Like, oh my goodness,
it's so good.
And I also like. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I love too that like it's not the same order as the full version editions, because obviously like because this was like our final like confirmation of like, oh, okay, these are not gonna be the same order, because Volume 2 in the full version was Tio, and obviously this is not Tio on the cover, and so this was like our first, because after Volume 1 it was like obviously that's gonna be Gash and Kiyomaru, but Volume 2 being Kanshime and Fulgore and also Consomme, it was really cool getting to know like, okay, like this is not going to follow that same order, like anybody could be on each next volume, and that made it like so much more exciting.
Yeah, like I feel like volume covers, at least like for the first few volumes of like each of like the previous sets, had been pretty consistent, where it's like Gash, Tio, Consomme, Wanrei, Kiddo. I think those 5 have been like very consistent
Yeah.
throughout like the previous one. So it's fun to see it, see the order changed up here. So this was like super, super exciting to see.
Yeah, and I just love that Consomme was included on the cover.
Yeah,
He's so
he gets
cute.
to be part of it.
And the colors, I wasn't expecting those colors
yeah.
on him.
No, I was gonna talk about the color scheme too. Like it's like, oh my goodness. Again, like Consomme here is just like a surprise because I was just like fully expecting, you know, just strictly, you know, the partners only, but this is like really cool. I really like the color scheme for Consomme a lot. Like he is really, really rocking the baby blue and tangerine colors here. Like he is so cute.
It's so cute, and he gets to hold his little donuts or whatever.
Yeah, he's got his little donuts.
God, I will say it is so funny the number of times, like, so I would post the volume 2 cover like on the news Twitter and everything, and the number of times I would get comments or like quote retweets or whatever of like, Kanchome had a baby, and I'm like, that's his little brother. Stop. Like, that's his baby brother, and people are saying like the weird, like, I mean, like, I understand, like, for it, I guess it can, like, out of context it could look like that, but it's like, I read the sequel and you'll know who that is.
Yeah, I remember you talking to me about some of the quote retweets. Like,
oh, God, it was crazy. And the way people were I'm not gonna like say, but like the way people were phrasing those questions was just like, all right, y'all need to calm down. He's like 19.
It takes a lot of strength to run the news Twitter account. I can tell.
I've seen some things.
I've seen things. And I see it too, because I look at the comments sometimes.
But yeah, no, I love that Raikou like decided to include Consomme on this. It's so good.
Yeah, for sure. I also love, like, the lime greens on Consomme here. Like, I actually had no idea what his accent colors were gonna be on his outfit for the sequel. Like, I was kind of thinking it could have been blue since that symbol thing on his onesie was blue in the original series, but I think green works for him, too. Like, it's honestly kind of funny how Gash had went from green to blue to now Consomme going from blue to green, so good for them.
I know. I thought that was a fun little, like, oh, they switched.
No, same. I'm still obsessed with Consomme on here. He is so fucking small, dude.
I know,
he is so small.
Baby.
He's just, I love him. Again, I just love the inclusion of, like, new characters on these covers in general.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I know, like, as great as these covers are, I was a little, like, I wouldn't say bummed. Well, I mean, I was kind of expecting like Zelly or someone to be on the Volume 1 cover.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
She's a pretty prominent like character in like the first arc of the sequel and everything, and so, but we didn't get that. We instead got a dragon that we still have not met yet.
Oh my god.
like I'm talking like at time of recording, we still have not, like, chapter 29 is the latest chapter. We still have not met this Thunder Dragon. But no, Zelly couldn't be on the cover. But Consomme is on this one at least, so that's nice.
Well, you know, maybe there's still a chance later on. Who knows?
I'm fingers crossed. I have my theories. I don't remember when I said it, or if I don't remember when I said it, if it was in the intermission for Volume 1 or what. But like I'm so sure she's gonna be involved again later, so I will see her hopefully down the road.
I hope we get something like what we got for Volume 16 of the full version, for like the final volume of the sequel, where we can get like a big composition shot of like everyone, as many characters as possible. That would be really, really cool. Like, please. I
know. I need to see like the cards and sorcerers in color. Like,
honestly, same. It's hard to imagine them in color, actually.
Right, like I as fun as the back covers are, I might have said this in the last intermission as well, but as fun as the back covers are, I think it would have also been a fun, like, I understand wanting to stick to the parallels of how it was formatted for the full version editions, but like I think it would have been fun if, like, for the sequel, the front cover had, like, you know, the demon and bookkeeper, because obviously, and the back cover had the card and sorcerer that they faced off against. Like, that would have been I would have been really happy with that format, personally.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. Like, I just really want to see them in color.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of their color schemes. Like,
only Wag, but only Wag, but
right.
only when he's ugly.
You're right.
That's
yeah,
it.
and so it's like, are they all just black and white, or like what what's the palette?
Yeah, it's a struggle trying to imagine them in color. Like, I don't know how you'd approach it, honestly. I don't know. Yeah. I straight up don't know.
Yeah. Also, I will say, unrelated to what we were just talking about, but I love the color scheme of Fulgore's shoes. They just
oh my gosh,
really,
yes,
they just look great.
yes.
Yeah, because like before they were like a black and white and gray or whatever. Still,
yeah,
still that same like snake skin or whatever. Like leather.
Yeah, it was like silver sequined boots in the original.
So I love that those are a different, like his outfit is still really similar, but I like that there are at least some differences.
There's a lot I can say. Like I mentioned this already in one of like the videos, but you know, even though I still do sort of wish we did get a bigger design change for Fulgore, I still do appreciate the little design updates that we did get. Like I still really
something
love
is better
heart
than
zipper
nothing.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way. I mean, I'm gonna keep saying it throughout our things too. Like, there's not much variation through most of like the return designs, and so it's like I take what we can get, but at the same time, it's like, Raikou, you could have done a little bit more.
We're gonna keep mentioning this like again and again, I feel like, but yeah, that's pretty much like I do kind of wish we did get more of like a significant design update, but again, to be fair, like he did have a pretty solid design in general in the original series, you know. I get it, and I do like the updates we did get, and I do really like how he looks on the cover here too. Like I don't know what it is, but I just really like the way that Fulgore's hair looks on the front cover specifically. Like I still really liked how his hair looked in the original series, and it did take a little bit for me to get used to the whole new dandelion style, but I don't know why, but I just think like the front cover like sold me on it basically. I really can't explain it. Maybe it's just because I really, really like Raikou's painted illustrations a lot. He never misses with those.
Oh, I know. It's so gorgeous to look at. Oh my goodness.
Also, the inclusion of Mo Puruku here, like, yes, I know that spell.
Yeah.
I'm glad it gets to be on the cover.
I know, same. Like, it's similarly to like how in the full version it was like, what is it, Dima Buruku? The one he multiplies and everything. So it's like it was the same like type of. Yeah, no, I really like Raikou's spell choices for this cover.
At least for this cover, it's a spell we know versus Volume 1 with a spell we still don't know.
I know, and I mean, and does he do it again with a later volume? Stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. Stay tuned for that one, honestly. But honestly, like, overall, super, super solid front cover illustration here. And moving on to the back cover, the illustration there is also, like, really, really cute. Like, the way we see Consomme dancing and having a good time with Consomme and Fulgore. It's just... it's so fun. And again, I'm just so happy to see Consomme so included in these covers. Like, I really love that little donut baby so much.
Same.
So incredibly much.
Like, I love that, like, I mean, right away, like, we talked about this too in the chapters, but, like, right away, I mean, I'm assuming, but right away, like, Fulgore immediately, like, takes on the role of being, like, Consomme's, like, caretaker and everything, and it's like, he steps into that immediately, and, like, no questions asked. He's like, oh my god, you're Consomme's baby brother, like, okay, I'm gonna take care of you. And so it's, like, just seeing this, like, Consomme and Fulgore now, like, doing what they can to just, like, play with Consomme and everything. It's just, like, it's like Consomme got, like, a new, like, brother slash uncle slash, I wouldn't say father, I'd say, like, brother slash uncle. And it's just, like, it's just so cute. Like, the three of them, it's just really, really cute.
It's seriously, like, oh my goodness. I just really love it. I just really love, like, I do agree with what you mentioned, how it'd be fun to get back cover illustrations that do feature like the cards and sorcerers, but I also just like really love seeing these very casual and fun interactions with these characters too. Like there's there's not a lot of time for any leisurely activities in the sequel, so I'm glad we have time for that in the back cover at least.
Yeah, it's our little dose of slice of life moments.
Exactly. Yeah. I know it's been like a few chapters already, and I know we clearly see him on the front cover, but it's still such a thing for me to get used to Konjiki being so fucking tall. Like, literally so as lanky. Tall as full. Yeah! He's so lanky, and like, his like, face hasn't really changed. Like, it's still... He looks exactly the same as he did when he was like 6 or however old he was in the original series, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he looks like, I don't know if I said this in a chapter video or in like the original intermission, like in the original take.
Whatever the original was, that is lost to time.
Yeah, so I don't know when I said it, so if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry, but if this is new, then you're welcome. But this is like, he looks like an Adventure Time character. Like,
oh my God, I swear, yeah. I remember you saying that. I remember you saying that at some point.
There's like some duck character that has like those like poofy like pants and
I know what you're talking about. I know.
Like there's fully an Adventure Time character that looks like this. This is him from Adventure Time. Like I swear to God.
Honestly,
it's like I never would have expected that. It also looks like in like, I don't know, episodes of Rugrats or something, whenever the babies would like pretend to be adults, and so they'd have like an adult body, but then like it would still be their baby head. Like that's exactly what this looks like.
Exactly. That's exactly it. That's why it's been taken. Even whenever I'm like looking at him now, I'm just like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it just, but it's like at the same time, it's never in a million years what I would have expected for Kanshome, but it also still like works.
It still works. Like
it's so interesting.
I don't know how. Like, I guess for me in general, it's like hard to imagine like a time skip Konjiki, you know, prior to the sequel and everything. It's hard to imagine him specifically all grown up and tall. Like, I didn't expect him to be like this tall, you know?
Yeah.
It even took a bit like first getting used to like seeing Gash for the first time in the sequel and how tall he was there, and Konjiki here is even taller than that, so I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm sending you a
it's
picture.
Crazy.
We'll put it in the video. I'm sending you a picture of what I'm talking about with the Rugrats thing.
Oh my God, yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Gotta pause the whole thing just to message me on Discord.
I had to. There's no rules.
This is literally it. This is literally it, honestly.
Yeah,
like
we'll use that picture for the video of this one. And you guys will see what we're laughing at, because it's that exact vibe, like literally.
Yeah. I love Konjiki though. I love how tall he's gotten. I love that he's built like a string bean. But oh my goodness. Anyways, really great artwork overall for these covers, but you know what else is pretty great?
What?
Gash Café.
Finally, Gash Café is back. None of this llama shit.
None of this llama shit. I was gonna say, I was literally talking to Pinna about this right before recording, like how I remembered from our first intermission, right after I read the summary for the bonus chapter there, how Pinna was like, wow, and I have nothing to say. And I'm like, you're gonna have something to say this time? I hope. None of this llama shit. I take it you're not really a fan of that, huh?
Not really. No, not when I came not when I really grew to love the Gash cafes and all the like the lore and everything. Honestly, that they could drop, and just like the
Gash
fun
Cafe
vibes
like
and the fun moments.
Format.
Like, I know,
It's
and so
perfect.
to have
It's so
Kiyomaru reading a book about llamas, like I'm sorry, and it's the whole llama thing is a nod to Animal Land, which I didn't even enjoy as much as Zatch Bell. So it's just like, what are we doing here?
I'm crying, dude.
Anyways.
Well, I'm pleased to let you know that we're not gonna be reading about llamas this time.
Thank God.
The Gash Cafe format is back. Like, I was so happy to see this. Like, because again, I absolutely love the whole concept for these when they were first introduced in the full version volumes. Like, they're so incredibly fun and give some interesting insight into characters here and there. And it's, and to see it return for the sequel, that means we'll get to see, even more unique guest pairings and more shenanigans and maybe even more lore too. Maybe? Question mark?
Right? So good.
So, right away with this very first Gash Cafe chapter, you can already tell it's taking a little bit of a different approach because originally these were meant to showcase different interactions between demons specifically, but now it's giving a spotlight for these other characters, which is really cool. Like, as soon as I saw the guests here, I was like, oh my god, fuck yes. I want to see more of these guys.
They've invaded more than just the demon world.
They took over the cafe.
This is like that old Disney cartoon, like the House of Mouse, where it's like all those Disney characters at like a restaurant or whatever. But there's that one special episode where it's like the House of Villains, where like all the villains took over. This is that. This is that. Gash Cafe House of Villains.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Like, this is, again, the format is great. These cards and sorcerers are great. I want to see what happens.
It's so good.
Like...
I love like that we also get to learn more about the characters through like the what their meal is. Like, it's so fun getting
that's kind of like
see what food Raikou gives them.
Honestly, like, that's kind of, like, one of my favorite parts of the Gash Cafe, too. Like, seeing specifically what they order and just how that, like, there's something about that, like, really tells you a lot about a character somehow. Like, it's just fun.
Oh, 100%,
I really love Gash Cafe, so this is also going to be really, really fun to talk about as well. So, why don't we take a look at what the very first Gash Cafe of the sequel is like?
Yay!
So, here is a little summary of events. For this edition of Gash Café, our featured guests this time are Gil and Hanage Boo. Gil is being served by Levi, and Hanage Boo is being served by Waig. Gil's order is milk tea and scones with small cups of clotted cream and mixed berry jam, while Hanage Boo's order is grape Fanta and packets of cola, orange, and lemon-flavored Don Patch. Gil looks at his tea for a moment before asking Levi if he looks to her like some delicate lady who would like a tea party and tells her to bring him a mug instead. She tuts as she slams a mug with his tea down on the table. Hanage-boo chugs his grape Fanta and exclaims how he loves how the grape Fanta slides down his throat and says it's even better when it's chasing a mouthful of Don Patch. He leaves his mouth open to reveal the crackling of the candy on his tongue. As Gil watches Hanage-boo, he thinks to himself how he's sure that Hanage-boo was born sometime when Fanta and Don Patch never existed, and wonders how he knows what they are. Waig refills Hanage-boo's cup of Fanta, and Hanage-boo states that it's always a delight when he and Gil sit down for tea. He tells Gil to give him a good icebreaker, to which Gil asks Hanage-boo why he has such a preposterous name, and Hanage-boo appears bothered by this. He continues snacking on his Don Patch and tells Gil he's going to let that hateful comment slide since he clearly doesn't know any better. He then goes on to inform Gil that he is a sorcerer of the Nihao Gomu school and that they call him Hanage-boo, but that the Nihao Gomu school is composed of many different branches. He then lists the branches as being nose hair, ear hair, leg hair, armpit hair, arm hair, and the hair on the upper thigh before Gil cuts him off, saying that he really doesn't need to hear more. Hanage-boo tells Gil that Boo is the title awarded to the highest ranking member of each branch, and that it's a sign of great prestige. Gil thinks to himself about how he had said he was done with this topic. Hanage-boo then asks Gil about his name, asking if Gil is the only name he goes by. Gil tells Hanage-boo that his full name is Gilbert Osamu-san and that he's half Irish and half Japanese. Hanage-boo repeats the half-Japanese part questioningly, and Gil, eating his scones, asks if it isn't obvious that Osamu-san is a Japanese name. Hanagebu explains Gil's name to him, telling him that Osamu is his actual name and San is just an honorific title, like Yamada-san or Hanako-san. The San part is just a suffix. And he adds that Osamu is a first name, not a surname. Gil, seemingly surprised or confused, asks Hanagebu, "It's not?" Hanagebu tells Gil to be honest, asking him if he's really half Irish and half Japanese, and Gil begins to shiver nervously. White tells Gil not to worry about it and says that there's nothing wrong with leaving a few questions about his life unanswered. Levy thinks to herself that that's a wild way to try and save face. Hanagebu, changing the subject, asks Gil if it's true that he really goofed off and went sightseeing during his trip in Egypt, and Gil confirms, asking if that's a problem. Hanagebu tells him that it's thanks to his carefree attitude that their enemies gave him the slip. As Hanagebu is telling Gil that he thinks he is the reason Wide couldn't get the job done, he and Gil watch as Wide walks in front of their table before getting down on the floor and performing the yoga pose, the cobra pose. Gil claps and Hanagebu laughs, exclaiming that Wide must have taken some yoga classes at some point. Levy chimes in, saying that she took a trip to the zoo to see the baby pandas. This surprises Hanagebu, and he asks her when that happened, then confesses that he really wanted to check out the insect museum, and he hangs his head down as Levy places her hand on his back to console him. Gil continues to eat his scones as he thinks to himself that Hanagebu's name is a riot, but that it really doesn't suit his serious personality. He thinks that if Hanagebu is smart enough to practice sorcery, then he should have the common sense to find his way around. He grabs his mug and continues thinking to himself, saying that unless he subscribes to the notion that he can string Belial along like a puppet, then the tea in his hand won't taste nearly as sweet. Hanagebu, crying, continues to eat his Dawn Patch, and Levy stands in the background. She then ponders to herself if the next partner she's going to be assigned will be Mimige, meaning ear hair. And this concludes Volume 2's Gash Café. So,
wow.
Quite... the way you said wow is like exactly how you said it in like the first intermission, and so I was like fully expecting you to say again, "I have nothing to say." But anyways, like, this was quite an interesting first Gash Café. I want to start off first by mentioning again about how I love the fact that it looks like that the cafe guests and servers this time around are going to be the sorcerer cards. Like, once again, for anyone that hasn't seen the Gash Cafés from the first series, the guests were originally the demon kids, while the servers would be their bookkeepers. And so I really love, again, the sort of change up here, because Gash Café, once again, is a super fun premise for a bonus chapter, and to see these characters who are associated with, like, the main villain of the series in this kind of environment is really, really fun. And it's, like, it's honestly funny that these cafes feature these cards and sorcerers, because, like, they're just straight up out here having a fun and casual hangout in a cafe that's literally themed after the guy that they're trying to kill. And, like, and then the fact that we also see Gil drinking out of a mug that has Gash's face on it is, like, really, really funny to me, too. Like, I straight up forgot when we originally recorded this intermission the first time. Like, I really don't think this happened during that time, otherwise I'm pretty sure I would have mentioned it, but, like, since then, they had actually made the cup that Gil drinks out of in this chapter, like, a real thing. So, that's fun. Yeah. It's yet another piece of my little Zatch Bell collection. But anyways, like, back to the actual chapter, I was, like, super, super happy to see Y again. Like, I missed that guy since he exploded, but he's here again. He's wearing an apron. We absolutely love to see it.
Like, I was looking at these panels, too, like, as you were summarizing it and everything, and just, like, it reminded me how, like, his design is so good. Like, Wag's design, like, oh god, it's so good. So it was really nice to get to see it again in the cafe.
I miss seeing everyone in general. Like we said at the start, we had to do, like, a quick review of everything, and I was like, oh my god, I love these guys. It's so good to see them again.
Yeah, like, seriously.
Oh my goodness. I gotta talk about, like, their orders, too. Like, I keep forgetting that brands are just in the series, you know? Like, Grape Fanta and the Dawn Patch Candy, like other real-life brands were mentioned in the original series as Gash Café too, but every time I see it mentioned, it's still kind of funny to me. Like, there's gonna be, like, more real-life references to things here and there in the sequel, but it never fails to intrigue me. Like, I guess, like, yeah, this exists in Zatch Bell. That's pretty cool.
No, I know. I mean, like, freaking Rodu having, like, what is it, Coca-Cola and Red Bull and Monster.
Yeah.
Like,
Red Bull and Monster.
For those brands to be, like, referenced like that, I was just like, oh my god. So, like, that took the cake for me. So it's like anything else that happens after that, I'm like, okay, sure, this exists in here as well. Like, why not?
Honestly. Also, like, Hanage-Boo's order in general is definitely not what I was expecting for him. Like, bro just wanted grape soda and candy. Like, good for him, honestly. Good for him.
Literally. Like, and I have such mixed feelings on this, because, like, when the characters will say things like you're like, you shouldn't even know about this, Kenny, like, how do you know this exists or whatever, and then it just gets, like, brushed off like a joke or whatever. Like, I'm just like, no, like, let's unpack it. Like, how what is the lore here? Like, well, like,
let's circle back here. Let's circle back to that one.
Yeah, like, what is your actual name? How old are you actually? None of this, like, I can eat it if I want to or whatever. Like, I don't, like, I understand that these are meant to be, like, lighthearted gags and everything, but I'm like, okay, if we're about to give lore, let's hold space for the lore. These are
meant to be lighthearted gags, but I'm taking it so seriously.
Literally, I'm like, I got a notebook. I'm like, okay, what lore are we learning today?
God, speaking of lore, like, what the fuck is going on with Gil here? Like, when I was first reading through this chapter, when the volume, like, just came out, I was like, oh my god, no way, we get an actual full name reveal. Just like that, his name's really Gilbert Osamu-san, but then as I kept reading it and seeing Hanage-Boo call out the fact that Gil doesn't know about honorifics, I guess, I'm like, you know, is Gil just bullshitting us or something? Is he lying about his name?
Is he like Irish and is pretending to be Japanese? So he's like,
but also, like, why is this something you gotta lie about? Why are you lying about being half Japanese now? Like, why? What is this?
No, it's so weird, and it's also what made it extra confusing too is because, like, in one of the earlier chapters, I think in volume 1, when we see a brief glimpse of, like, all the different cards on Belial's wall and everything. And wait, do we know his name? Yeah, we know his name is Belial. I was like, wait, are we supposed to know this yet?
Imagine if we weren't supposed to know, and I'd be like, Pinna, that doesn't get revealed until volume 10. Come on.
Oh my god. Whatchamacallit? What was I? Oh, that's right. The wall of, like, cards and everything on his wall. I don't remember how or who or when or whatever, but, like, I think it was some of the Japanese readers were able to somehow deduce what some of the characters were, because it's obviously in some, you know, a made-up language that the cards or sorcerers or whoever use, and so someone was able to, like, decipher what most of them were, and we were able to actually translate what a few of the names on the cards that, like, we could see where we could make out what the characters on it were. They translated what some of them are, and one of them does say, like, Osamu on it. Like, we don't see the full card, but, like, one of them I remember, like, one of them does have that portion of the name on the card. So it's like, and I know Gil isn't a card, but, like, these names on the wall are probably also potentially cards and sorcerers that, like, Belial is, like, I don't know, pairing up or matching up or something. So it's like, that part of his name, like, is someone, like, we don't know if that's specifically referring to him or if he, like, took someone else's name for himself or something. Like, it could be any of those things, but I do remember one of the names on those cards, and this was chapters before, you know, this Gash Café, so it's like, chapters and chapters ago it said Osamu on one of the cards, and now we're getting that name in this context. It's just like, it's worth noting, and it's just, again, another example of how, like, far in advance Raikou, like, establishes these things.
Again, like, no, like, it was really crazy, like, seeing someone be able to, like, decipher that, like, for sure. But again, I'm just, like, still I'm still confused, like, what is going on here? Like, how come Gil doesn't seem to know his own name in a sense, like, you know, like, like you said, like, that thing on the wall, it was supposed to say Osamu, so why is he getting tripped up and, like, going by Osamu-san instead? Like, it's so, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't. It's like, does he not have like all of his memories or something? Like, what?
Like, was this like a name given to him, and he hears people like refer to him like, you know, like by Osamu-san? He's like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to go by. Like, I don't know. I straight up don't know.
Funny, like he hears Osamu-san and he's like, oh, that whole thing is my name. Got
it.
And it's like
he clearly doesn't know his honorifics, because
so
Hanagebu straight up gags him in this chapter, but then Wag just had to be like, it's okay, Gil, don't worry, it's fine to have secrets. Like, no, it's not. Stop talking.
No, I know. I remember in the first version of this tweet, I was so annoyed that like Wag just like steps in like, you ain't gotta tell him nothing, boss. And it's like, no, you actually do need to clarify this.
You ain't gotta tell him nothing, boss.
Like, it was so like, Wag, shut up. Now is not the time. Let him speak.
Literally, like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, you are ruining everything here. Like, be quiet.
I know. Like, can we get some actual like lore with some follow through, please?
It's okay to leave some questions about your life unanswered. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. According to
no
whom?
According to whom? Said that. No.
Like, oh my goodness. Like, drives me insane to this day still. I forgot.
Same. I love them talking about, like, the, like, just casual things they wanted to do. Like, when Levi is like, I went to go see some pandas at a zoo. And it's like, oh, in the middle of your, like, hunt to kill Kanshome, you went to go see some pandas. Like, that's cute.
Yeah. I'm glad she did, but then I'm like also like losing it over the fact that like Hanagebu really wanted to go see that insect museum too. It's like, damn, I'm so sorry, King. And also like the idea that like Wag had potentially just casually taken a yoga class or something is so funny to imagine. Like you know, like if it took place in the human, like imagine just going to your morning yoga class and you see this fucking guy show up and he's like, hey, any room for one more?
Like, I know. Like, oh god, it's just
and like the way we just see like Wag casually stroll in from the side in the background and just plop himself down onto the floor to do a pose. I was crying. I was like, why is bro just getting on the floor like this? What is going on?
It's
like...
it's so funny because like this is this random ass like type of humor is like exactly what Raikou was doing in Vector Ball, but it like wasn't landing in Vector Ball. Like it was not landing whatsoever. It's like characters would be in the middle of a conversation and then all of a sudden someone would just like start throwing spitballs at someone or something or like rocks, or I don't even remember what it was, but it was just this type of like out of left field, something random would happen and like laugh time, and it's just like it just wasn't landing. But like the way, I mean, this fits the format of Gash Café where literally anything can happen, and so it's like it works in this context, but like it's just interesting to see that this same type of humor is still present in Raikou's work, but like in a different like context, I guess.
If Vector Ball was funny.
Yeah, honestly. God.
I get it. I was gonna say it's always entertaining for me whenever I hear you or someone just talk about Vector Ball, your takes on Vector Ball. I have not read Vector Ball. I have not even read Animal Land. I just love hearing other people talk about it.
You don't need to. It's fine. I will say, I know there are fans of Animal Land. Like, of the two, between Animal Land and Vector Ball, Animal Land is definitely worth more of a read, but ultimately, for me personally, neither of them are, like, I'm here for Zatch Bell. Like, that's
honestly same. That's what we're all here for. We're not gonna do a series for Animal Land. You know, I'm sorry. Sure it's like, you know, I'll take your word for it's fine, but I'm here for Zatch Bell specifically.
Maybe one day I'll tell Dev about Vector Ball, but I don't think we'll do Animal Land. That one's too long. But Vector Ball is 5 volumes because Raikou got burned out and quit, and it shows in the work. So like that'll be easier to talk about. But like Animal Land
literally insane.
16
Literally
or 13
insane.
volumes or whatever. Like, there were good moments in Animal Land, do not get me wrong, but like it's not like Zatch Bell is Raiku's magnum opus, and I'm here for the magnum opus. Sorry.
This cafe is his magnum opus.
Yeah, he made
It's
this
got
sequel
everything.
just so he could do this cafe for sure.
It's got a little of everything. It's got some lore question mark. It's got some funny moments. It's got my favorite guys. You know, it's good. It's pretty good.
It also has me wondering if like because so like Levi Waig and Hanagebu are like dead now. They're gone, but Levi and Gil stayed. Like they're still.
Oh yeah, they're
right. Still here.
They're still around. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's like are Levi and Gil gonna be like paired up together since they're both missing their original partners?
That is a really good question.
Because we could see either of them again.
And I would like to see them again too.
Yeah, with Gil especially. Levi, I'm not sure. Well, she did say next time we meet we'll be enemies. So like, I feel like, and Gil, we know he's just an angry little shit out for vengeance. So like, I feel like we'll see both of them again.
Shit. He is kind of a little shit. I love how at the start Gil had to be like, actually, this tea set is for girls. I want the mug for boys. And Levi is just like, ugh, whatever.
Like, oh, great. He's Irish, Japanese, and sexist.
Oh my god. You don't get this anywhere else, honestly. Like, this is why you keep coming back to the series.
It's so true. It's so true.
But, oh my goodness. Overall, 10 out of 10 for Gash Café. Like, it had it all for me. Super fun to read through. Super fun to see that it's focusing on the cards and sorcerers this time around. And I already couldn't wait for more. Like, I can't say more than enough just how much I love these bonus chapters. It's great.
Same.
It's a good time for everyone.
Same.
Speaking of chapters, though, how about we get into discussing some stuff in the volume overall?
Ooh, okay. Firstly, before we get into like those chapters and everything, I do also want to add right after the Gash Cafe is I believe the first, it might have been in volume 1, but I don't think there was a credit page, crediting.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Crediting the people who helped Raikou with certain pages or panels in the chapter, and especially also the full color illustration that we got in volume 2 of Belial's like home base or whatever.
Oh my gosh,
this like fantastic artist that Raikou, I'm assuming, commissions to do these full color illustrations. Since after volume 1, they have not been by Raikou, so he commissions this artist, REC. And they do these incredible full color pages for the sequel, and not just in volume 2. Like, they are present. I feel like each volume has at least one color page done by them, and it's so good. And I would have never thought there would be another artist whose work would fit so well with the tone of the series in terms of getting to be one of the pages like in the actual chapters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Raikou found it with this artist, and it's so beautiful. And so I love that Raikou has a credit page at the end of the volume, like, you know, pointing out like who did these like big landscapes or who did the color pages and everything, and it's just really, really nice to see.
No, for real, like, I can't believe I almost forgot to mention the whole credits page. Like, it's really nice to see, honestly, like, seeing specific, like, not just, like, listing out, like, the staff by names, like, which, of course, is, like, you know, the right thing to do, but, like, also to, like, visually see what did they work on specifically. Like, oh, this person worked on this specific page, and then this person worked on this. Like, it's really cool to see. Like, I think it's such a fun little touch. Like, to be honest, like, Zatch Bell is like the only like series I really collect like the physical manga volumes for, so I have no idea if other series might have little things like this, but in general I think this is like really, really neat. I just love getting like to visually see like who worked on what. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, of the ones that I've seen off the top of my head, I know they do have like a credit page of like, you know, background artist, and like it would be like what you said, where it's like they would name what they did and then like give the person's name, but it wouldn't show like specifically what they contributed. And I do really like that this credit page does do that. And I also love that the print editions do keep the color pages in color.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't do what like English manga volumes typically do and just make it a grayscale page.
Yeah.
Which is honestly such a bummer because a lot of the Japanese volumes keep the color pages. And so I love that the Japanese volumes of this also keep the color pages because they are so gorgeous to look at. Like REC, I've never even heard of them prior to the sequel, but like their art is really, really beautiful.
Yeah, they're killing it, dude. Like it's
Yeah.
so cool. Like there's gonna be more colored illustrations from them in the future. Like it's so fun. Like could you imagine Raikou in your DMs asking, "Hey, are you open for commissions? I'm working on this little series."
Like they make the demon world look so like, I mean, like they really capture the otherworldly essence that the demon world is like supposed to have. Like it's oh god, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
There's only so many glimpses we got of like the demon world in the original series, so it's like fun to see these other like illustrations like depicting it. It's like it's so cool. I have no idea if I like mentioned this in like the original volume 2 intermission or if I said this prior, but I wanted to bring it up again since we're talking about like pages and illustrations. I do want to say like something I do kind of miss from the original series were the illustrations that Raikou would make at like the very start of a chapter. Like you know, chapter 1 has this illustration, then when you get to chapter 2 there's another illustration for there. Like I do really miss like those little illustrations for each and every one of those chapters, but I also understand how much work that can be to make a whole entire like illustration for each and every single chapter, and Raikou himself is like, you know, of course busy working on, you know, this whole new series and stuff, so like it's totally understandable. I'm glad he's like commissioning other artists to help work on these things for him, and I love REC's work here. It's so cool. But I just wanted to bring that up. Like I do really like whenever we got a chance to see Raiku's chapter illustrations in the original series, but I really don't mind this change at all. Like I do like REC's art a lot, and I am so excited to see even more work for them in future volumes. It's so good.
Yeah, same. Like I feel the same way. Like I loved Raiku's color or Raiku's chapter illustrations because it was just so fun to see like what he would come up with. Like again, like I fully understand why he's not able to for the sequel. Yeah. I mean, he's a lot older now. He's a lot busier. Yeah. Like he runs this company now and everything. So it's like I get it. But like at the same time, like there's a part of me too sometimes where I'm just like, it would be cool if we got like at least a different illustration for like the individual chapters that come out. Like maybe he could change it up every like arc or something, but like we've just had that hand holding a thunderbolt for like, or holding a lightning bolt, I mean, for like 30 chapters now, which is, again, it's fine, but like part of me would like be like, oh, it'd be cool if he could like, I don't know, switch it up or something, but...
Yeah, it's obviously not a deal breaker or anything. It's just one of those things, like, I do kind of miss that from the original series, but I also understand why it might not be something he would want to do for this one, considering the workload he has. You know, even in the original series, he was constantly busy, so, again, I completely understand.
Yeah, if anything, it just makes you appreciate what we had in the original series even more.
Yeah, exactly, so...
Yeah, but no, I feel the same way.
Yeah, but anyways, like I'm really glad you brought up the credits page, because again, like that like completely slipped my mind again, and I like this was something I wanted to like bring up because, you know, I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, why don't we get right into the general volume discussion?
Ooh, okay. Lead the way.
Okay, so since we're getting into the the general volume discussion, I think we should also first get right into talking about some character names. Like, we alluded to this a few times, I think, in some of our previous episodes.
Yes.
And here we are to finally talk about it. The main thing I'm talking about is, of course, talking about Hansude's name, or should I say Tiger. So for those of you who don't know about where this is going, allow me to give you a little Zatch Bell history lesson. So at the very end of the original series, where we see the demon kids headed off to school, we see Conchime leaving home along with Gorman Papi Purio, waving to who we know today as Hansade, Conchime's older brother. However, he was originally referred to here as Tiger. And you may be wondering, how do you even know this? Tiger was never ever mentioned in the original series at any point, which is true. You would never have known about this unless you happen to be going through Raiku's old blog, not his Twitter. He has his own blog separate from that he used back in the day, but there he'd often respond to various fan questions, and at one point someone did ask him about the individual who Conchime was waving at, and if this was his father, to which Raikou had originally answered that yes, this was his father, and his name was Tiger, and this has been the case all the way up until we see him again in the sequel for that family photo. And, when we originally saw that family photo, we were thinking, okay, there's Tiger, who is Conchime's dad, and so this means that the other man in the photo sitting on the bench must probably be his grandfather or something, right? But as it turns out, though, Raikou would sneakily change history without us knowing, like, in, I think, the free anniversary ebook, either that or the special book that came with the full version volumes, the question about who Conchime was waving to was published there too, and it had originally said, yes, that is his father, Tiger, but at some point, Raikou had gone back to edit it to instead say, no, that is his older brother, Hansade, and not only did he change this here, he also went back to his dusty old blog post and edited the answer there too, changing history. Like, that part specifically is honestly still the craziest part of this all. Like, not the name and relationship retcon, but just the fact that he went back to his blog for that. Like, it's insane. And there you have it. That's like the story of the whole Tiger retcon. Like,
I'm mad
so
about it.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm mad about it. I have words to say to Mr. Makoto Raikou about this.
And I'd love to hear those words.
Okay, I have no issue with a retcon. Like, all creators do it, ideas change. This was a blog post he'd written, like, I don't even know, over 10 years ago, probably.
Jesus.
And the sequel, when he's developing the story for the sequel, and if he wants to, like, reestablish that Kanchime's family is, like, a bit different from how he originally planned or something, like, I get it. Like, it's totally fine. Change your idea. I don't think it was... Because, okay, so at this point, this is, like, the free ebook, like, thing with the Q&A section and everything. This is something that, like, people have downloaded to their devices, if they have a Book Live or Amazon Japan or whatever, like Kindle account and everything. And so it's something people have on their devices and everything. And I already don't like the whole, like, I guess not concept, but like the whole aspect to digital media where the actual license owners can, like, just go in and change whatever it is you, like, purchased or downloaded, like, without your, like, consent, essentially. And so it's like, next time you open the Kindle or the app or whatever, it automatically is like, oh, new version is here, like, it updated for you or whatever. So it's like,
yeah,
right, like,
yeah.
it's like, it feels invasive to me. And that would lead to, like, a more like a bigger, separate discussion about just, like, my feelings on digital media over physical media regardless. But, like, this is that same type of concept where it's like, this is a book that I like. That would be the same thing as, like, if I had the book on my bookshelf in my room, and, like, one day Raikou, like, while I was, like, asleep, Raikou just, like, breaks into my room, takes the book, crosses out some lines, writes some new pieces of information in it, puts it back on the shelf, and leaves. And it's like someone changed what was written in my book. And it's like, I get it, it's his idea, it's his characters, but I just don't like the principle of, like, him editing what people have already, like, downloaded, or not purchased, because this was a free ebook, but, like, downloaded and everything, and then to also go back in the blog and, like, this is kind of how, like, this is how Mandela effects, like, start. Like, he's literally changing people's perspective or memory of what happened. So it's like, even if someone saw the thank you ebook or something and it was like, oh, I'm pretty sure he said that was, like, Tiger or something. Oh, let me go check his blog post. And they go and see the blog and they see that it doesn't say that. And there's like, oh, I guess I was I guess I was wrong, or I guess I misremembered or something. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's not malicious. Like, it's not like he did it with malicious intent and everything, but I just don't like that the principle. I just don't like it by principle of like, just like rewriting, like what I don't know. There's just something about it that just feels kind of gross to me. And it's like, if you want to retcon, that's fine, or just do like an edit of like, oh, this is like an edit beneath the original answer of like, oh, this is no longer the case, I decided to change this or something. But like, to actually change it to make it look like he gave a different answer like 10 plus years ago, when that's not what I don't like it. I don't like how he handled this retcon personally. I'm fine with the retcon itself. I love that Kanchome has an older brother. I love that he has like a dad, and like, you know, I love the family tree that Raikou has like created for Kanchome. So I have no problem with like what we have now. I just don't like how Raikou tried to like change history to make it look like he said something else when he didn't.
Yeah, again, that is the craziest thing. The fact that he went back to his blog to find that specific post and change it there is insane.
Yeah,
that is
like
a
we're talking
move.
like this was from like 2000, I don't know, 2009, 2008,
Jesus.
something like that. Like he went back like 15 years into an old blog post that like no one like is looking. Well, we found it, but like
we found it.
No one normal.
He thought he was
there.
slick, but we found it.
Yeah, no one is looking there, and thankfully we have like, you know, the visual proof of what the original ebook pages of that section looked like.
Yeah,
because otherwise we'd have no proof that it was changed in the first place, and it's just like so it's like. I guess only people who were around at that time know his name was at one point Tiger, and that was his father. Anyone coming into the series new now, just like only will ever know him as Hansode.
It's crazy. It is so crazy.
It's crazy, and how dare he do that?
How dare he do that? But you know, like we at least it was noticed. At least like a screen cap was taken of like what the text originally said. Like
yeah, someone clocked it, and yeah, but it's just insane that it's just insane that happened. Also, I don't know if we talked about this in the chapter when his name was like dropped or anything, but Hansode means like half sleeve shirt, and that's what Hansode is wearing. So I just thought that was fun.
Again, another thing I almost forgot because it's been so long. I'm thinking about other things and like it's insane how much has already slipped my mind because of like how much further we are in real life, like where we are in the sequel. Like
yeah,
it's
been a minute.
It's been a hot minute, so I'm like, oh my goodness, I almost forgot about these like little tidbits. It will be exciting to do like yet another full reread again when the sequel inevitably ends. But it's just crazy. Like I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, no, this is definitely like a blast from the past because like I haven't thought about Volume 2 in like 2 years. Like
oh my god, I was
I'm like, exaggerating. It's probably like a year, but like it feels like 2 years because of and especially too when we're recording, like Raikou took March 2025 off of doing a chapter, so like we have been without a new chapter in like, so we had a month hiatus and everything, and then also like months hiatus from these videos we're doing and everything. So it's just a weird space being in Volume 2 discussion right now.
People watching this be like, wow, Pinna and Dev are really dropping the ball here. How come they don't remember this easy shit? Come on. I know.
Or anyone who like watched these like back to back in order.
Yeah.
Like anyone who finds the channel after like these are all out and everything, and they're just listening to these, they're like, man, like what did they go through? Like they're all over the place.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. Like some guy just invaded like the demon world, and so we had to like get out of there. It was crazy. It's crazy.
We're different people now.
Honestly. But anyways, Tiger shenanigans aside, let's actually talk about the rest of this volume. How was it overall? So for me, much like the first volume, I really enjoyed it. Like, I honestly keep forgetting, like, how volume 2 starts off continuing from the Weig and Gil fight, and it doesn't actually start with Fulgore and Conchime. It's like a reoccurring theme for me, actually, since we're recording from the future, where I think a volume will specifically start off by showing the chapter that the feature team on the cover got reintroduced in, but then it turns out not yet, and that's basically me with volume 2, where it showcases Consume, and Fulgore on the front, but it picks up from the Weig and Gil fight. But anyways, aside from that, like, I just really love all these things being set up and shown in this volume. Like, we got to see some sorcery. We're finally shown who seems to be the final boss of this series, aka the man behind the invasion of the demon world. We learned just a tiny bit about these cards and sorcerers and how they seem to have been brought back from the dead, and also we're setting up for an eventual Tio return, as evidenced by the fact that Fulgore had swooped right in to take her spell bottle back. Like, this means that this is something that they'll have to return to her eventually. Like, this volume had me extremely excited to see what comes next, especially considering how it ended too. Like, it seems as if the whole fight with Levi is basically over. Kiyomaru and Gash are here, so are Conchime and Fulgore, of course, and we've also got Tio's spell bottle, so what's next? Where do we even go from here? Something I wanted to mention here too, since we're talking about the volume in general, is that I'm still thinking about my thing that I talked about from the previous intermission, where I discussed my idea on how I think it could have been a little bit more interesting if we kept Gash's status a bit of an ongoing mystery for just a little while longer. Like, Conchime had explained how he didn't know what had happened to Gash or Tio and was under the impression that he must have died or something, but it was such an important moment for him when Fulgore had given him hope to believe that they must still be alive, as he didn't know for sure if they were dead or not. And, you know, while it was definitely cool to have seen Gash and Kiyomaru make it just in time to help out Conchime, I also think maybe it would have been cool to see the mystery continue. Like, Conchime, of course, had just escaped from the demon world, and maybe he could have been the one to explain a little bit about some of the things that had happened, much like Gash sort of did. And now that Tio's return is being foreshadowed with the fact that they have her spell bottle, I was imagining too that whenever we saw Tio again, she could also help provide what she knows about things, and so it can be this thing where they're all slowly piecing together all these clues about what's been going on, and either where Gash had gone or what happened to him in general. Like, again, I still am hooked on the sequel as is, and I'm excited to see where Raikou takes things. You know, my own silly ideas doesn't affect my enjoyment of the sequel as is, but yeah, this is something like I've been thinking about and wanted to bring it up here like one more time. I already know for sure whenever we get to that point, it'll be really fun to do a way more in-depth retrospective of the whole sequel, but yeah, again, this is something I remembered thinking about at the time reading this volume.
No, that would have been a lot of fun, because like it also would have been able to incorporate like Zelly and Olmo and everything, because like they could have still been with because like Kiyomaru could have still been involved, but like he could have been finding Kanchame and Tio and whoever, but Gash is not there, and I feel like that in turn would also like really highlight just how important of a character Gash is, and also just the role he plays presently as well. Like, I feel like that would have been really, really cool of like Kiyomaru going around, you know, bringing these new characters with him as we're meeting Gash's allies, and like piecing together like what happened to Gash or where he is or what we could do to bring him back or something. That would have been that would have been really, really good. And honestly, I feel like, I think I probably talked about this in volume 1's intermission, but like I feel like potentially Raikou might have felt a pressure to bring back Gash as soon as he did, because of either like potential waning interest from fans or something, where they're like, well, this is Gash Bell, like where's Gash, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And while I do like, I understand his perspective from that, I do want to know what direction Raikou would have gone if he didn't have to like keep the consumer in mind. Like, because if he didn't have to keep, if that didn't play a part in, you know, his decision for like how he crafted this story and everything. I mean, given how like Raikou will plant seeds like years in advance, and so it's like I could definitely see him like milking this whole thing of like of waiting on Gash's return until much later. And so it's like, I feel like if he didn't have to keep the consumer in mind and like market it as like, you know, Gash is back, then I feel like there could have been a really, really cool like initial arc of like reintroducing other characters and also trying to figure out like where is Gash, what happened to Gash, how can we get him back, while also getting to know these new characters and also getting to see the return of Gash's allies. I do think that would have been really special.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I think it would be really, really interesting to do like a really comprehensive retrospective once the sequel is over, to like really go back and like, assess like how was the sequel overall, and how it like handled like pacing and all this other stuff, because right now we have no idea how it even ends. I don't we're not even close to the end still. Like there's so much more ground to cover. We don't know. There's a lot of like we don't know right now, a lot of like stuff we're kind of like waiting to like learn more about and stuff. So it's just again, this is just like one of those things I've been thinking about, and I'm still very hooked on the sequel overall, and seeing like how it goes. It doesn't deter like my whole interest in it. It's just one of those things I've been thinking about.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel the same way with regards to like wanting to discuss how the pacing and everything goes, like once the sequel is finished, because like even now, whenever I do my rereads and everything, like the pacing feels so different when you're reading the chapters back to back compared to when you're reading them like on the monthly release. And it's like when I'm reading them back to back, you can like we get glimpses of the pacing that Raikou has in mind. And for me, some people feel like it's really fast, and I do feel like it is fast, but not in like a negative way. Like it's fast, but it works, I feel. And so it's like whenever I do the rereads, it's like getting to see how the story is meant to flow, like with the chapters being read back to back and everything. It's like it's so good. It's so good. So I'm really, really looking forward to eventually when it's all done and we can look at it as a completed thing, because like right now obviously we're getting the seeds that were planted, but we're not getting like what they lead up to, because like those haven't happened yet. And so it's going to be really, really, really cool to get to see it all as a completed work eventually. I forgot where I heard this or who said this or whatever, but someone said that, I mean, the sequel is going to be a finished work longer than it's going to be in progress, which like when I let that sink in, that like blows my mind. But it's so true, because like once the sequel's done, it's a completed sequel for years and years and years to come. Whereas now it's like we're just in this however brief period of it being in progress and everything. But it's like it's so exciting to think about once this is eventually a complete and finished like reunion, last hurrah of these characters and everything. Like it's gonna be so good. Like, it's gonna be so good.
I know people, like will often say like, the month-long waits are, killer, that they really don't like it. But we're gonna be at a point someday where there will be no more waits at all, because there will be no more chapters, because the sequel is done forever. Like, enjoy it while it lasts.
And the sequel is as good as it is because we are getting these chapters on a monthly basis. Raikou has time to breathe and cook and think about these, where he wants the story to go and everything. And it's like the only reason this sequel is as good as it is because Raikou is taking that time to cook. So
absolutely,
anyone complaining about the month releases can go read something else.
No, honestly, like whenever like we're on like pause, I don't know how to describe it. It's like Zatch, but like the sequel leaves my mind for a bit. Then as soon as like we start like hearing like oh, here's the release date for the next chapter, I'm like, oh shit, Zatch Bell is back. Even though it's still there, but it's like it leaves my mind for a bit. I'm doing other stuff and I'm like, oh shit, the sequel, yay.
Yeah, and it's so funny, like it doesn't feel like only and I don't mean this in like a complaining way of like it's taking forever. I just mean like it doesn't feel like a month. It feels like it's been so many months since we've gotten a new chapter, but like it's only been a month. Like it's crazy.
Honestly. But yeah, like that's my aside from all that, that's pretty much like my general take on like Volume 2. I really enjoyed it. I really like all the things it's setting up, and it really like literally every single chapter is like worth the wait. It's always so exciting, dude.
Yeah. No, I feel pretty much like the exact same as you with volume 2. I really, really loved this volume. I loved so much of what we got from Kanchome. Like this volume reminded me how much I love Kanchome's character. Because like I
Yes.
can very easily forget how much I love his character because of like how other characters are like more quote unquote my favorite. But
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
really love Kanchome as a character and Fulgore as well. And so like these chapters really did a great job of like reminding me just how much I love Kanchome as a character. Because I
Seriously.
just think like it's so good. I do remember I was like a little, I wouldn't say bummed, but just kind of like surprised. Well, and like I guess partially bummed because like again, I was going based off of the volume covers of the previous two iterations or previous two editions that the original series got, where volume 2 was Tio on the cover, and so I
Yeah.
was going into the sequel like, okay, next is Tio, and then it was Kanchome, and I was like, this is fine too, but like question mark.
Me.
And then so it's like I was really enjoying all these chapters, but in my head I was like, so this has to mean Tio is next then, right? Like I'm not trying to devalue all these chapters and make it just about Tio. But when Tio's bottle came into play, I was very focused on that. And I was like, okay, they're not going to have Fulgore like dive bombing to save Syphogio if Tio's not going to be next. And obviously at this point, we don't know if that's the case or not. But like, I was so focused on that aspect as well. And it just like, but overall, volume 2, I really, really enjoyed it. I loved getting to see another card and sorcerer team. I think these designs are so good. I love Hanagebu's design. I love Levy's design, and getting to learn more about Levy's background and everything, and getting to see that they're not all going to be like heinous monsters like
Yeah.
Wag and Gil were, and there's going to be like an element of like sympathy and or sympathetic villain to these characters, kind of like in the Ancient Demon arc or the Faudo arc, like with Faudo's curse and everything. It's like we're getting to see more of what I feel Raikou does really well, of like tackling that topic of like character, like people being forced to fight or engage in something that they don't want to, and the heroes kind of like feeling for them and wanting to rescue them from that, as well as beating the bad guy and everything. Like those same themes are very present in this volume, and I love that Raikou is leaning into that with them. I think that's really interesting, and as sad as it was for Hanagebu to go, I'm really happy that Levy stayed, and I really do hope we get to see her again, because I do feel like she and Kanchome came to some sort of like understanding at the end, and so I feel like that's going to help them for in the future if they ever do like re-meet again or something. I don't think she's going to forget Kanchome's kindness and sincerity and generosity from this battle with him. Um, but yeah, I loved volume 2, like, and the introduction to Consomme and getting to see a bit like glimpses of Kanchome's family and everything, and just I mean, so much of it, seeing what Kanchome is like as a big brother and seeing how much Consomme loves him. Like it was all, this volume was really good, like a really, really solid follow-up to volume 1. Absolutely.
Seriously, like I share the exact same thoughts too. Like there's so much good stuff in this volume. This was like overall really, really solid. Um
Yeah.
Theories and predictions. So in terms of that, like, again, so much happened in this volume that took me completely off guard. It can sometimes be a little bit difficult to perfectly guess what's going to happen next, and I honestly didn't have any theories this time because this volume ended off on the perfect spot where literally anything could happen next. So,
Yeah.
there's no more fight to be had, so literally, what do we do next? It was so exciting to
Yeah.
wait for the next volume's chapter because of this. But I think my only prediction at this point is that I was really hoping we could see Tio in the next volume, or at least
Yep.
at the
Yep.
very least start figuring out what happened to her or where she was. Like it's still left as a mystery as to how Konchime even got to the human world, even as of recording this. And so I was wondering if we're just going to see Tio somewhere in the human world or something. Like, where on God's green earth is she? Like,
Yeah. No, I feel like that was pretty much my only, like, I guess prediction, is that like given how much foreshadowing we were getting with Tio, like with her spell bottle and everything, I was like, and knowing again like the out of series, or like the context outside of this of like she was originally volume 2 covers in two different editions, and now it's Kanchome for volume 2. So I was like, she has to be 3. Like they're not going to make her like 4 or 5 or something. So I was like, she has to be next. And so that in tandem with her spell bottle being such a focus on, like, it was a big deal when Levy used who used Saifa? Who was the card? Levy's the card.
Hanage-bu casted it first.
Okay, yeah. So when he casted Saifojio, that was like a big, like, I mean, it was emphasized in that chapter. Like Kanchome was like, why do you have that? And then it immediately became a thing Fulgore had to rescue. So I was like, all of this, like, we have to be getting Tio sooner than later. So I was like really predicting / hoping against all odds that Tio was going to be the next character we would see. So like, I guess that would be the only prediction I had. I don't think I had any other theories. I mean, I guess other than like, I think we're going to see Levy again, but I don't think it's necessarily a theory so much as just me reading the story that Raikou was telling us.
No, for sure. It felt like Tio was like definitely going to be volume 3 at the time. Like it's hard to see like her not being volume 3 and it going to someone else, especially after like how Saifojio was like emphasized so much here. Like it had to happen. We were all so confident, and like, you know, it makes sense. Like, I couldn't imagine Tio being on, like, volume 8 or whatever, you know?
Oh my god.
That's a terrible number.
I would be so mad at whoever was on volumes 3 through 7. I'd be like, why are you not Tio? Like, what the hell?
Why are you not Tio?
I would hold a grudge against... If she was volume 8, I would hold a grudge against volumes 3 through 7. Absolutely.
Every single intermission is like, this volume was fine, except I hated the characters at the front. I don't care.
Yeah,
I have nothing to say.
You're like, I thought this cover was really nice. Like, I love the outfit, and I'm just like, it's not Tio. Next. Like...
Understandable, honestly.
Or it's just you talking. You're like, Pinna didn't want to be in this video because it's not about Tio.
The Fruit Lover Club, starring me, Dev.
The Fruit Lover Club. Oh my god. What's like club but for a single person? The Fruit Lover. The Fruit Lover stand. I don't know.
The Fruit Lover
funny.
stand.
Like
starting my own solo channel with that name now. But anyways, I think that's our general take on volume 2 overall. So
yeah.
So I think now might be a good time to get into some Q&A stuff. So, in case you don't know, this part of the video is dedicated to answering any thoughts or questions you guys might want to share with us. You can give us your Zatch Bell opinions and hot takes, or ask me or Pinna or both of us something too. If you guys ever want to submit anything like that and potentially be included in an intermission video, be sure to let us know. We would love to hear what you guys have to say. So, our first submission comes from Crimbo Combo, who says, I think Volume 2 was where I was feeling best with the series. Seeing Kanchome and Fulgore again was an exciting prospect, and seeing Kanchome become a responsible older brother but still not throw away his defining characteristics of his balance between what he wants and doing what's right for others, such as him refusing to accept death just because Kanchome is safe, he wants to see Fulgore again, was pretty great. Fulgore being built now made the fight with Levy and Hanage-bu a lot more dynamic than previous series fights, and getting to see the first new spell of the sequel redefining Kanchome's fighting style was amazing. Mo Puruku, while definitely feeling like it will be situational in the future, helped show that Kanchome had still become a reliable combatant that we sort of got robbed of seeing more of at the end of the series after he learned all of his overpowered spells, but still having the influence of Shin Puruku, showing all of it wasn't just for show. I'm also glad it was mainly a Kanchome/Fulgore solo, with the people of Italy with the steel chair every once in a while. As much as I love Gash and Kiyomaru, having breaks where they don't fight helps spice up the series as a whole, and I'm glad we got a fight without them after already seeing how much Gash has evolved with his spells and how much more capable Kiyomaru is with Answer Talker. Like, Literally, you worded a lot of my overall thoughts and everything. I think the part that I especially feel the strongest on was where you touched on how it was actually great when when Gash and Kiyomaru are given these breaks from fighting, because it really does spice things up a lot. As you said too, like, I also love Gash and Kiyomaru, of course, but I was so incredibly invested in seeing how Conchime and Fulgore handle themselves on their own. That's pretty much me with, like, any of the teams like that we'll see. I just think it's fun to be able to, like, see what they can do. Like, I think in general I've always kind of been the person that's always just been a little bit more interested in characters other than the main characters, just because we've seen time and time again how extremely capable Gash and Kiyomaru are, so it's just more fun for me when we see other teams get that spotlight to shine. And Conchime and Fulgore absolutely did shine in this one. Like, and I also really like how you describe how Conchime's new spell essentially redefines his fighting style too, which is absolutely true, and I seriously can't wait to see how this will evolve in future chapters too.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, I really like how, like, Kanchime is the first person to get, like, a new spell in his spell book in the sequel.
Yeah.
Like, I think that that's really cool, and really, like, it's really special that, like, he got to be the one to do that, and it's not just like, oh, and, like, and Gash got it, like, Gash got a new spell first too, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's really, really cool that, like, each of the characters is getting their time to, like, to shine on their own before, like, getting re-involved with Gash and Kiyomaru and everything. And this does really remind me of, like, those in the earlier part of the original series, like with like when we would get those few chapters now and again to see, like, what some of the other characters are up to, like when Kanchime fought Bargo, and when, like, Brago was fighting, I don't know, like an avalanche or something. Like those types of you know what I mean? They're like,
I know what you're talking about. I just think it's funny.
Like, yeah, because it's like where it's not just focusing on Gash and Kiyomaru the whole time. It's like, I didn't even think about that, but, like, it totally did shift to Kanchime and Fulgore's perspective for these, like, for this handful of chapters, and it's really cool that we got that so early on in the sequel. So I totally agree.
No, for sure, and I seriously agree with, like, this whole analysis. Like, it's pretty much my same general thoughts. Like, I'm just really enjoying, like, how the sequel is, like, handling things. It's seriously, like, so much fun. Thank you so much for your take on things, Crimbo Combo. That was like,
thank you,
so
Crimbo.
true, so true. Anyways, the next post comes from one of our really good friends, Zach. We meant to include this one in our first intermission, but somehow missed it, but we still wanted to answer it, so now it's part of this intermission. Anyways, Zach asks, aside from the announcement itself and being able to read the series, what has been your favorite part of the series to the point the podcast is at? So, again, this was meant to be part of Volume 1's intermission, so I think in terms of Volume 1, Gash returning, of course, was extremely hype and exciting, but I honestly have to say, my real favorite part of the series during that time was when Chapter 1 dropped, because it was one of the most exciting days ever as a fan of the series. Like, Chapter 1 on its own was, like, a really, really exciting chapter, but I really like looking back on the whole excitement of reading the very first chapter of the sequel to Zatch Bell. Like, it's fun in general, the fact that everyone reacts to the chapters together for every new one that comes out, but that was, like, the start of it all. Like, I feel like I've said this a lot, but again, I've always wondered what it was like to react to the chapters of the original series when it was first coming out with, like, no clue about what lied ahead. So the sequel has given that experience for me, basically, and that's kind of why Chapter 1 has been one of my favorite parts of the sequel, in a sense. Again, in terms of events that happen in the actual sequel so far up to, you know, the point of this podcast, I definitely have to say, you know, Conchime's whole fight here in Volume 2 has also been, like, super exciting. Like, there's been even more exciting things currently happening as of recording this, but this question is specifically aimed at our favorite moments at this point, so we'll have to leave it at that. I seriously loved, you know, Conchime's whole arc here. It was so hype from start to where it ended off in Volume 2.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. Okay, so for Volume 1... I mean, oh god. I mean, the first chapter, that's where it all started. So that definitely was, like, a big moment where it's like we knew nothing that was ahead of us. Like, we knew nothing of what to expect and everything. But I feel like looking at volume 1 as a whole, at least as of right now, what I would pick as my favorite, honestly, I'm gonna go with everything that like happened when they were in the tomb. Like just seeing all the sarcophagi
oh my God, yeah.
and everything, and just learning that like I guess the favorite aspect of it is just like learning that like this goes deeper than we could have ever like known. Like,
oh my goodness,
we
yes.
knew the battle had taken place in the human world for, you know, a bunch of previous battles, but it's like to know that there's like a prophecy in the human world that involves the demons, and there's a bunch of sarcophagi that are like potentially like intended to be used as bringing demons back or something. It's all of that, like whatever that is, because we still don't have all the answers for that. Like at whatever that is, I just really liked that. Like it really, really connected the sequel to the original series in such an organic way, I feel like. And so I would say that would be my favorite from volume 1. And for volume 2, if I had to pick like a single, I mean, the whole Kanchome fight is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna go with when Kanchome gets his book back. I think that was a really, really big moment for him, because like actually, no, I'm going to change that. I love when he gets his book back, but I'm going to specifically pick when, wait, no, is that when, hold on, I'm trying to think. What's the moment when, oh, no, yeah. When he is like getting eaten by
oh my goodness,
Gozer,
yes,
basically.
yes.
And he's like giving up. He's like, I'm going to do, he's like, because initially he goes into it like, I'm going to do everything I can to stay alive, and, you know, at least Consomme is safe and everything. But then he's like, he's starting to like die, because obviously he's getting, you know, mauled by Gozer, and he's like starting to accept that, you know, he's like, you know what, like at least Consomme is safe. Like I won't get to see him again. I won't get to see Fulgore again, but like at least Consomme is safe. And then like Fulgore shows up like right to save Kanchome, and like is strong enough to like pry Gozer off of Kanchome and everything.
Yes.
Like the way Fulgore comes in to save Kanchome like that is so it's so good. Like all of Kanchome's stuff leading up to that just shows his bravery, and then all of Fulgore's stuff when he comes in to rescue him is like, I just, oh god, Fulgore cares about him so much, and that was just like really, really, really cool to see. So I'll pick that as my favorite moment.
That moment
Fulgore
was like so
Kanchome.
intense, dude. Like I feel like I like
So
there's been like some points here and there where I kind of felt like kind of teary-eyed because of like how emotional it was, like
oh,
really
100%.
It was really getting. I was like, damn.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're not crying, you're not reading the series right. Like that's just how it is.
I get teary-eyed at some parts. There has not been a part yet where I've like fully bawling, but I'm waiting for that moment, because that's like peak Zatch Bell experience. I remember like there were some points in the original manga where I actually was crying like so hard.
No, same. I remember. Yeah, I remember when I was reading the original series, like leading up to the sequel. I was in the hospital because I had appendicitis, and I had nothing but I had nothing but time on my hands because I was in the hospital. So I was on my phone. I asked one of the nurses like for a phone charger, because my phone was like almost dead, because I was just reading the manga like chapter after chapter. It was the only thing to like distract me from the pain of my appendix like killing me inside. And so, but then once the morphine kicked in and everything, I was like, well, time to take the chapters back out. And I'm like reading the chapters, and I'm in the final arc, and I'm like, when like Kanchome's book gets burned and he's saying goodbye to Fulgore, and like I'm there in the hospital bed, like getting teary, getting emotional, because their goodbye is so sad. Like,
no, their goodbye is like the one that got me the hardest. So, like I was crying the hardest over them.
Seriously, like, oh, and the panel of just them, just that panel of them on the ground, like both on their knees, like sobbing, like wailing at having to say goodbye to each other is so heartbreaking. And then so it's just like that, to have this reunion of him coming back to save Kanchome's life, like literally, like Kanchome is being killed and Fulgore stops that and saves him, is just so so good. Like, I'm getting emotional talking about, like, I love them so much.
I'm adding Pinna's answers to my answer too, because, like, again, it's been a hot minute since I've properly reviewed Volume 1. Like, like, for like, I almost forgot, like, just, like, how so much has happened in, like, 2 volumes.
Yeah, these are
So
long
many
chapters
things
and it's
have
fast-paced,
happened.
so a lot happens.
So many things have happened. I was gonna say, like, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to bring it up because this is something that happened to you, but, like, as I was, like, talking about, like, the experience of, like, chapter 1 and, like, everyone waiting for that, I was, like, so tempted to, like, mention the fact that, like, you could have potentially missed it because of your appendicitis. Like, I remember that so vividly. Like, we were talking, like casually one moment, then you're saying, like, hey, I'm not feeling too good. So I was like, okay, you know, Pinna's not feeling too great. I'll maybe emotionally he's not doing too well. I'll leave him be. He can come talk to me later if he wants to. Then later that day, you're like, hey, I'm in the hospital for my appendix. And then we're just thinking about the fact, like you could have missed the chapter 1 drop for the sequel because you had to get it removed.
I know. I was like, that was my main concern. Like, I was like, okay, I'm at the ER. They'll take care of the appendix,
yeah.
but I need to make sure that I'm home in time to read chapter 1, or at least that I can access it on my phone and everything. Like, that was my main concern. But I mean, thankfully, like, at the hospital, I'm not kidding. I read through at least like 4 or 5 volumes of the original series because I was like, I'm not gonna have enough time to finish the original series before the sequel comes out. But then I had so much time at the hospital where I was just like, I just had my phone with me, and so I was like, well, okay, I'll catch up. Plus, when I was in the waiting room for a few hours in so much pain, the only thing that was like distracting me was reading the sequel or reading the original series and everything. So just like, it was the perfect. It all ended up being like the perfect time. Like this series was there for me when I needed it most.
The fact that
but
it
yeah,
happened.
I messaged you at like.
It happened so close to each other. I was like,
it was dangerously close. I was so nervous. It was like 11. No, it was like, I don't even know, midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. or something when I messaged you on Discord, and I was like, hey, so it was my appendix, like I'm at the ER at the hospital, and that's when she was like, oh, you didn't mean like emotionally not feeling well, like
that's what I was
like,
thinking. You didn't say it like when you were first saying like I gotta go. It was like I thought, you know, like when you're saying I'm not feeling well, I was thinking like, oh, something must have happened that Pinna should like wants to like process.
Yeah, something happened, all right. My stomach was oh my god, it was.
You didn't even mention if it was like stomach pain or anything. It's just like, hey, I'm not feeling good. That is like so vague.
Well, I wasn't feeling good.
I mean, yeah, but like that could mean a lot of things.
It's so crazy because like all of the other times I've heard about like appendicitis and everything is like some people deal with like some type of soreness for like a few days or a few weeks or something, but like me, it was that same day, 10 a.m. out of nowhere, painful stomach ache, and it's not getting better. It started out kind of like chill in the morning, but then like I was like, oh, maybe I'm hungry or something. So then I ate and like nothing was better. And then it was like getting worse throughout the day. It was a work day and it was getting worse throughout the day. And like Tums wasn't helping, Advil wasn't helping, or Tylenol or whatever the hell I took. And it just like was not getting better. And it was like 5, 6 in the evening now. And I was like, maybe a nap will help. I couldn't fall asleep because I was in so much pain.
Imagine.
Both my roommates were not home, so I had no one like to take me to the ER. So I drove to the ER myself. I get there, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we don't take this insurance." So I drive to a different ER in so much pain. Then I get there, and I didn't take it, and I didn't take my jacket or anything because it was the evening, and so it was still kind of warm out. But then by the time I get to the actual ER that I was at, it was like 8 or 9, no, it was like 7 or 8 p.m., maybe close to 9, I'm not sure. And it got a lot colder, and I'm sitting by the entrance to the ER and just in the waiting room for at least 2 hours. By this point, the pain is so strong, and I'm also now freezing because I'm right by the door that keeps opening and letting in all the cold air and everything. So by the time they actually like take me in to one of the rooms, I'm like in so much pain, shivering my ass off. They had to warm me up so much before like giving me the morphine or whatever, or as they gave me the morphine. They had to put up, like, they put like a bunch of blankets on me to warm me up as they were giving me the morphine and everything. And it was just like, it was a what, and meanwhile all of this I'm like trying to read some Zatch Bell on the side.
I haven't gone through the joyous experience of being hospitalized, but that is exactly what I would do too. I would be asking for my phone. I just need to, I need to look at Zatch Bell. I need to look at Zatch Bell right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I hope you never have to experience being hospitalized. But if you did, I hope you have your phone and Zatch Bell.
That is exactly what I would be doing. I'd be more concerned about
take your Umagon plush, like.
I'd be more concerned about missing a chapter drop than I am about my own life, my own well-being.
Yeah, no, like once they said like what it was, because obviously I had no idea that this was appendicitis until they like told me, because I was like, am I dying? Like I have no idea what this is. This sucks. And so when they were like, it's your appendix, I was like, oh, thank God. Where was I? Chapter 300 or something? Like,
oh, thank God, it's like, appendicitis.
Yeah, no, because like that's an easy fix. Like they knock me out for a little bit, take it out, and bada boom, bada boom, bada bing,
like so fun. It's so funny.
And no, actually, I was in the middle of Faudo. I was in the middle of Faudo, and I finished the rest of Faudo and all of Clear Note while I was at the hospital. And then I was ready for the sequel.
I was ready for the sequel. That is like the funniest fucking experience.
Oh God, it was wild, that's for sure.
Thank God it's appendicitis. Anyways, back to Zatch Bell.
Yeah, pretty much.
That would be me in that situation. Give me my phone. Postpone the surgery until after the chapter drop. I have something I can't miss right now.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, my appendix? Okay, I gotta find out who this Xeon guy is.
Oh my God. I love this series. I love everything about this series. Anyways, thank you, Zach, for your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Zach. I can, for sure, I know I did not talk about my appendix in the first iteration of this intermission video.
Oh, we absolutely did not have it. This is like the better iteration because of that story. Oh my goodness. Again, thank you so much for your question. Thank you guys for your questions. Like, as I said earlier, if you guys want to share with us your Zatch Bell hot takes, your thoughts, or want to ask me or Pinna or both of us something, please feel free to do so. Like, we would love to be able to feature these in future intermission videos.
Yeah, let's get conversations going.
Absolutely.
All the comments you want, please leave them down below, or, Twitter, whatever. Just,
give us your hottest Zatch Bell takes. We would love to discuss that on the intermission videos.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be about the sequel. It could just be about the series as a whole, the original series, like literally whatever. Like, this is open forum. Like, you got, like, talk to us and we'll talk back to you.
we will share stories of being hospitalized with you. Yeah. But oh my goodness. With all that said, all in all, this was such a great volume. I think we're pretty much going to keep saying this exact same thing because I honestly don't believe we'll ever see a whole volume that's like a complete flop, honestly. Like,
oh my God, I can't even imagine one chapter being a flop, let alone an entire volume.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, to have 6 misses in a row from Raikou, I don't think you would ever.
What is this, Vector Ball? I say that as someone who has never personally read Vector Ball.
And you never need to. I promise you. Let's save that for a future video where I tell you all about Vector Ball.
Literally, that's the whole series. I don't even I'm not even part of the discussion or anything. I'm just here to listen and react to Vector Ball. But anyways, Vector Ball aside, I've been seriously enjoying the sequel, and I was already hooked from chapter 1, and so to have 2 volumes worth of stuff at this point was super, super cool. But what's going to be even cooler than volume 2 is volume 3, where it has just as many fun surprises in store, and we absolutely cannot wait to get into that one. If you've been experiencing the sequel yeah. If you've been experiencing the sequel for the first time through our videos, we hope you're excited for our videos on Volume 3. You definitely don't want to miss anything that happens in that one, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, is there anything else you wanted to share before we sign off?
I don't think so. I don't have an appendix, and I don't have any thoughts.
I don't have an appendix! Great, thank you.
No appendix, no extra thoughts from me.
No appendix, no thoughts, no nothing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening and watching this video, and we cannot wait to talk more about the sequel in our next one. So we hope you'll join us for then, but until then, take care and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.